Hello, dear students. I'm Kamlesh, and we are going to discuss a very special topic today. I have selected this one. This is such an important topic. In my last video, we were discussing about different dimensions of this coronavirus. So, one of the special dimension of it was culture. Now, you will puzzle that how culture is related to corona. So, let me answer it to you. During the lockdown, this cultural aspect of corona was also in news. So, without wasting much time, let's just get started with it. See, the first issue related to corona or the culture part of corona was a renam. You can see it. Why it was in news? You see, what is a renam? It is a cultural practice of the Galo tribes in Arunachal Pradesh. See, in the northeastern part of India, we have Arunachal Pradesh situated right here. So it is dominated by a tribe which is called Galo tribe. So this Arinam is a cultural practices of these Galo tribes, in which whenever disease that enters into this particular region, the people they isolate themselves. As you can see here, this northeastern side, especially this Arunachal Pradesh, it shares borders with China in this side. As we all know, China is the epicenter of different types of communicable and non-communicable diseases. So whenever from the ancient part of the civilization, whenever infectious virus that used to enter into this region, people of this region, they used to isolate themselves. So that is why it was in news recently. The people of this community isolated themselves. So let's see what is this Arinam. So Arinam basically, it's practiced by Galo tribes in Arunachal. It is they are located in the West Siang district of Arunachal, of course. Under it, a 48-hour lockdown is imposed whenever an epidemic strikes this region. That's why it was in news. It was in last time 4 decades ago when it was used. So it is preceded by Ali Ternam, meaning epidemic forestall. Some rituals is also practiced by Adi community in the Dibang Valley. It is called Motor. So in this article, there are 2 things that you need to remember. One is this Arinam, and number 2 is Motor. This is practiced by Galo tribes. I hope you are clear with it. There is a even more special issue, that's Ambubachi Mela, which was in news. Why it was in news? In the wake of COVID-19, it has been cancelled. You see, we are still in the northeastern part of India, where you can see Assam. So in the region of Assam, you can see there is a Brahmaputra river which flows like this. So along the bank of Brahmaputra river, there is a city called Guwahati. So this Guwahati, in this city, you can find a temple that is Kamakhya temple. So every year in front of this Kamakhya temple, this Ambubachi Mela is celebrated. Now, what are the details regarding this Ambubachi Mela? See, it's a congregation of all the tantrics, right? All those who are practicing tantric practices, they mostly gather here and celebrates the Ambubachi Mela there. So this year it has been cancelled there. So this festival symbolizes fertility cult of goddess Kamakhya. See, I tell you one thing, this god Kamakhya temple is one of those temples in India where there is no idol which is worshipped there. It may be absurd, but you see, there is a stone which is in the form of a yoni like stone that is worshipped inside the temple. This is also known as Siddha Kubjika. That's her other name, or Kali or Mahatripura. And this festival, this Ambubachi Mela, is also known as Mahakumbha Fest. This is the reason why it was in news recently. So I have picked this up. Next in line was Chakmas and Hazongs. These two tribal communities were also in news. Why they were in news? You see, these are facing starvation and hunger in Arunachal Pradesh. Again, this is another issue from this northeastern side of India. So in Arunachal, you will find this Chakma and Hazong tribes. They were left out of the government economic package. Let me explain it to you in a very clear manner. You can see this is the northeastern part of India, and this area is basically surrounded by this area is surrounded by Bangladesh. Here you can see Bangladesh. Chakmas and Hazongs, they were basically a part of this Bangladeshi region, but later they migrated to the Purvanchal, that we call the Arunachal Pradesh region. Why they were in news recently? Because as these people, Chakmas and Hazongs, are not Indian citizens, so they were left out of the government schemes way back in 1991. Government removed their names from the beneficiaries list. Now they have to purchase the rations at market price, which is quite high. At a time when Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana is being implemented in our country, these Chakma and Hazong, even though they are residing in India, they are deprived of this scheme, under which 5 kg of rice and 1 kg of pulses are provided to people free of cost. So that is why they were in news, and these people have to purchase these groceries at higher prices. So that's why they were in news, and I have picked this up for you. Let's have a closer view of regarding these Chakmas and Hazongs. You see, as I mentioned, these are the residents of Chittagong Hill Tracts of Bangladesh. They used to live there in Bangladesh region. Now they left their homes way back in 1960s when their homes were submerged by the Kaptai Dam project. As you can see, I'm drawing it again. Suppose this is the northeastern part of India. So here there was a Kaptai Dam project which was constructed, and for that their lands were submerged underwater. They had to move to this part of India. Now Chakmas are Buddhists and Hazongs are Hindus. So whatever I'm explaining it right now, these are all questions of exams. So they entered India through the Lushai Hills. In Arunachal Pradesh, you can see Lushai Hills is in Mizoram. So later they don't have citizenship rights and land rights in India. So basically these Chakmas and Hazongs are non-Indians. They do not have any citizenship rights in India. So that was related to this article. You all might have heard about the Tablighi Jamaat issue and how it affected the rising number of COVID-19 cases in India. Related to that, just after that, Islamophobia was in news. And this organization of Islamic cooperation, that was also in news at that time. The growing resentment and growing criticism against this Islamic community, for that it was in news. Why it was in news? You see, Organization of Islamic Cooperation has criticized India for growing Islamophobia, that is portraying Islam negatively due to the Tablighi Jamaat issue that we know. Now, what about this Organization of Islamic Cooperation? It is an international organization found in 1969. 57 member countries are there in it. It is the second largest intergovernmental organization after UNO. These are important lines. It is a collective voice of Muslims in the world. And where is its headquarters? It is in Jeddah, that is in Saudi. So this is all about this article. It's very important, even though it is a philosophical article, but you need to dig into this organization. What is this Organization for Islamic Cooperation? Moving further, whenever you have seen Prime Minister Modi appearing to address the nation, he covers his face with a particular piece of cloth. Now that cloth many of you might have noticed it. It's basically the gamosa, right? So its origin is in Assam. It's a cloth, it's a very unique cloth in Assam. It's a white rectangular piece of cloth with a red border on three sides and woven motif on one of the sides. Now, there are two types of gamosas that are basically used. One is the ukka or plain gamosa. This is used to wipe sweat or dry out the body after bath. It's very generally used in day to day life. But there is another type of gamosa that is called fulam. Fulam is a decorated one with floral motifs, and it is used for gifting purpose, right? It is used to gift it as a monument to people, or memento as to people, and it is gifted in the celebrations of Bihu. Now, during Assam agitation of 1979, gamosa was used as a symbol of protest. So it's a cultural part of Assam. It's very important. Many times it appears in the examination, so I request you to please take a notice of it. Now let me take you to Kerala, where Thrissur Puram festival was being celebrated over the years. It's the identity of Kerala. Now, why it was in news? Because of COVID-19, it was cancelled recently. Now, what about this Thrissur Puram festival? You must have seen a festival where elephants are decorated with golden ornaments, and they are placed in line, and this is how the festival is being celebrated. But this year it was cancelled. And regarding this Thrissur Puram, it is called the mother of all festivals in Kerala. Now, in Kerala, if you can notice, most of the festivals are celebrated by means of elephants. Elephants are a part of the culture of Kerala. Now, this Thrissur Puram festival dates back to 18th century, and it is started by Sakathan Thampuran, the Maharaja of the erstwhile Kochi state of that time. So this was postponed this time. For that, it was in news. Moving on, Vishnu's Sendra Parva. Vishnu Sendra Parva. Now, it's a hunting festival by tribals of Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal. And why it was in news? It was suspended for the COVID-19 this time. I repeat, it's a hunting festival. That means the tribals, they move out into the forests, they hunt animals, and these are dwelling in the state of Jharkhand, Odisha, and West Bengal, and this is the reason why it was in news. Next is a very unique culture of Japan, Hanko. What is this Hanko? Hanko is a personal stamp generally made from wood or plastic. As we have all seen stamps which are used in official documents, so Hanko is also an official stamp which is made out of wood or plastic. It's a very old tradition of Japan. As you can see it here, it is originated in Japan. It is a small sized circular square shaped stamp. Now, it is wet by ink pad called shuniku. That is a stamp pad which is used, and the mark on any document is called inkan. So these are some important terms associated with this culture. Hanko is a stamp, and the stamp pad is called shuniku, and the stamp or the mark which is put on a particular official document is called inkan. It was used for authorizing official documents. So why it was in news recently? As most of the offices in Japan, they are still using Hanko for authenticating certain documents. So people have to migrate to their offices in trains and other public transport to authorize or certify their documents. So that is why people, many people are rushing to their offices for this. As I have written it here, people have to travel to their offices, so that's why it was in news. So that is the reason why I have made this video. I hope this video will help you a lot in your preparations, whether you are preparing for different entrance examinations. So thanks a lot, friends. There are so many such issues in line. This is the first part of it, that is related to culture. I'll come up with different other issues which are related to economy, polity, or science, biology. So thanks a lot, friends, and prepare well. Have a great day.